Friend was not allowed to board the flight. The rest of us still went on the vacation. Now she wants us to pay her back. Am I the a-hole if I don't pay her? Throw away and change some details. I don't think anyone involved is on Reddit, but I'm paranoid LOL. Anyway, here's what happened, and I'm genuinely wondering if I'm the bad guy in the situation. Me and 3 friends, Sarah, Matt, and Lisa, planned a much-needed vacation to Hawaii. We'd been talking about this trip for months, all of us super excited to get away from work and responsibilities for a while. After scouring various travel sites, we booked the flight, hotel, and rental car together in a package deal for a discount. It was a great deal, and after splitting the costs 4 ways, each of us paid roughly $800. We also booked a few activities to do while in Hawaii, things like a snorkeling tour and a hike up a famous volcano, which totaled about $250 per person. All in all, we were each out about $1,050 before even getting to the island. The day of the flight finally came, and we all met at the airport. We were hyped. We arrived super early to make sure everything would go smoothly. We grabbed coffee, chatted about our plans, and started moving through TSA. That's when things started to go south. As we were all going through security, one of my friends, Sarah, got stopped by TSA because she had a weed pen in her carry-on. Now, I'm not going to lie, I was completely shocked. I knew Sarah smoked occasionally, but I thought she would be smart enough not to bring something like that through airport security, especially since weed is illegal in our state. When they pulled her aside, Sarah seemed surprised and said she had forgotten the pen was even in her bag. I guess she didn't mean to bring it intentionally, but either way, TSA wasn't having it. They called in airport police, and Sarah was taken away to deal with the situation. It was awkward, to say the least. The rest of us, Matt, Lisa, and I, didn't know what to do. We waited around for a bit to see what would happen. After about 45 minutes, we got a text from Sarah saying that she wasn't going to be allowed on the flight. She wasn't arrested, but she was given a citation and a court date. To make matters worse, because she didn't make it through security, she wasn't going to make the flight either. So, just like that, our group of 4 was down to 3. We were all bummed because, honestly, Sarah is a lot of fun, and she was a big part of the reason we were excited about this trip. But what could we do? We had to make a decision. Our flight was boarding soon, and we were still set on going. We had paid for everything in advance, and all of us were looking forward to this trip. So, we got on the plane without her. I feel kind of bad about it, but the trip was planned, paid for, and non-refundable. Sarah was upset, but I think deep down, we all felt like this wasn't entirely our fault. She was the one who brought the pen, whether she meant to or not. Plus, it's not like we could just cancel everything and get our money back. I mean, it's Hawaii. The vacation was amazing. We explored the beaches, went snorkeling, hiked up that volcano I mentioned earlier, and even tried some local food that was incredible. It was everything we had hoped for. The only downside was that Sarah wasn't there with us, which put a slight damper on things, especially because we kept getting texts from her about how upset she was that we went without her. We didn't respond much because, honestly, we didn't know what to say. When we got back home, things got awkward fast. Sarah was really angry at all of us. She said that we shouldn't have gone on the trip without her, even though she knew we couldn't just cancel. But what really surprised me was when she said she expected us to pay her back for her portion of the trip since she didn't go. She wanted us to cover her $800 flight, hotel, and car rental share, and even the $250 worth of activities we had booked. That would have come out to around $1,050, which, when split between the 3 of us, would mean we'd each have to pay about $350. I don't know about you, but I didn't budget for that. I didn't have an extra $350 just lying around, and I didn't think it was fair that we should have to pay for her mistake. Sarah also mentioned that we hadn't given her the car keys when she was stopped at the airport, so she had to pay for an Uber to get home. That part was genuinely an oversight. None of us thought to give her the keys to Matt's car when TSA pulled her aside. We were all a little frazzled and didn't know what to do. But still, the Uber ride cost her around $70, which added to her frustration. I guess I understand why she was mad, but at the same time, none of this would have happened if she hadn't brought the weed pen in the first place. Matt and Lisa both feel the same way I do. Matt especially thinks it's ridiculous that Sarah expects us to pay her back. Lisa is a little more sympathetic and said maybe we should chip in something just to keep the peace. She didn't want to deal with the drama, and I get that. But at the same time, I don't think we should have to pay for Sarah's poor judgment. I'm working on paying off my last credit card, and honestly, $350 is about the same amount I put toward my credit card debt each month. If I paid Sarah back, it would put me a month behind in my plan to become debt-free, and I've been working really hard to get to this point. I had some credit card debt from being a little irresponsible in my early 20s, and I'm finally almost done paying it off. So, now I'm stuck. I don't want to lose a friend over this, but I also don't think it's fair for me to pay her back. After all, we didn't do anything wrong. We showed up at the airport on time, we packed responsibly, and we went on the trip we had been looking forward to for months. Sarah made a mistake, and while I feel bad for her, I don't think it's our responsibility to cover her costs. Still, part of me wonders if I should just suck it up and pay her back to avoid any more drama. So, am I the a-hole for not wanting to pay her back? Even if I'm not, should I just do it anyway to keep the peace? I'm really torn here, and I could use some outside perspective.